Welcome to the first video in Lesson 2, Patterns in Division. So here we're going to learn some more divisibility rules, in particular, rule for 3, 6, and 9. So what does the rule for 3 say? If the sum of the digits is a multiple of 3, then the number is divisible by 3. So what does that mean? Well, let's look at these examples. 81 has two digits, 8 and 1. So if I sum them together, meaning I add them, I would get 9. So you check to see if your answer is a multiple of 3. Now multiples of 3 include 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, and so on. So since we have 9 being a multiple of 3, then we can say that 81 is indeed divisible by 3. So let's try that again for 634. If I add 6 plus 3 plus 4 together, I get 13. Now since 13 is not a multiple of 3, that means that 634 is not divisible by 3. So now let's look at 6. What does the rule for 6 say? If the number is divisible by 2 and 3, then the number is divisible by 6. So we have to check two things. We got to see if it's divisible by 2, meaning we got to see if it's even. And then we just learned the rule for 3, which means we have to add the digits. So if both of these things are true, it's divisible by 2 and 3, then it's divisible by 6. So let's look at some examples. So to start, I have 102. Now 102 is even, meaning it is indeed divisible by 2. Now for 3, we have to add 1 and 0 and 2 together. Since that gives me 3, which is a multiple of 3, then that means that this number is divisible by 6, because 2 and 3 both work. Now if we look at B, 6,371, I notice that that's not even, meaning it's not divisible by 2. So that means that 6,371 is not divisible by 6 either. We don't even need to check 3. We checked 2 and that didn't work, so you can just stop there. So we have one more rule to cover, and that's the divisibility rule for 9. So this rule is similar to 3 in that you add the digits. So it says, if the sum of the digits is a multiple of 9, then the number is divisible by 9. So for 828, we're going to add those digits together. 8 plus 2 plus 8 is 18. Now, since 18 is a multiple of 9, then we can say that 828 is divisible by 9. Now for B, if I add 5 plus 2 plus 4 together, I get 11. Now 11 is not a multiple of 9, so that means it's not divisible by 9 either. So let's practice these rules we just learned. It says determine if each number is divisible by 3, and then explain. So we're not just going to say yes or no. We have to give a reason for why it is or isn't. So the rule for 3 says we have to add the digits. So let's add 7 plus 4 plus 1 together. I get 12. Since 12 is a multiple of 3, then 741 is divisible by 3. So as an explanation, we can just say just that. 741 is divisible by 3 because the sum of the digits is 12, which is a multiple of 3. Now for B, adding 5 and 6 together gives you 11. So we can use a similar statement, but just the negative of it, and say that 56 is not divisible by 3 because the sum of the digits is 11, which is not a multiple of 3. Here we got to see if a number is divisible by 6. So don't forget we have two conditions we need to check. So 332 is indeed even, so it's divisible by 2. Now let's add the digits together, which is 8. Now 8 is not a multiple of 3, so we can say that 332 is not divisible by 6 because it's not divisible by 3, since the digits add to 8. And for B, I see that that's divisible by 2 because it's even. And if I add 9 and 6 together, I get 15, meaning it is divisible by 3. So 96 is divisible by 6 because it's divisible by both 2 and 3. Now in this last example, we have to determine if each number is divisible by 9. So we'll start by adding the digits together. 2 plus 1 plus 4 is 7, which is not a multiple of 9. So we can make a statement something like this and say that it's not divisible by 9 because the sum of the digits is 7, which is not a multiple of 9. And doing the same thing for B, adding 6 and 0 and 8 and 4 together. This time we get 18, meaning it is divisible by 9. So you can make a statement something like this. Now you can move on to the next video in this lesson, where we'll continue our work with divisibility, and in particular, talk about dividing by 0.